yes, you know, I'll try. The person is like smaller, and it's kind of wide. Unless we do that format, you know. Okay, I'm gonna introduce myself a little bit, and then I will show you. I'll talk about a little bit about my travels, what I've been doing. Does everybody listen? Everybody can hear? Her, because that's the important part. Yeah, that I've been doing. And I then will go to the more fun part, which is the pictures, and show you a little bit of the stories that I've been working on. So, yeah, please.
После того, как он расскажет о себе, о своем путешествии, он уже перейдет более к веселой, интересной части, которая касается фотографий непосредственно.
Okay, so I was born in Chile, and I have a background on business. First, I studied business administration and economics.
Он родился в Чили и сначала он изучал бизнес, получается, в Чили, и администрирование бизнеса.
And after 3 years, I decided, working on business, that I just couldn't do.
К чему у него есть большая страсть.
So I've been doing that for the past 9 years now, professionally taking pictures.
Он уже занимается фотографированием 9 лет профессионально.
And I think the poster, the banner says that I'm a traveler photographer. I really am a storyteller. That's how I like to talk about my photography. I like to tell stories more than just traveling.
То есть там, где была реклама, там было сказано, что он путешественный фотограф, но на самом деле он больше рассказчик. То есть он может рассказывать истории через свои фотографии.
So for me, when I travel, I need to have a reason for traveling, a reason to go to a place and take pictures and tell a story. I get bored very easily if I just go to one place and, you know, just relax and see the mountain. I mean, that's very nice, but if I'm just watching the mountain, I'm kind of, you know, like, okay, like, now what do we do? You know, like, it's too much.
Okay, thank you. Так. Oh my God, I forgot.
Okay, so I basically I have to do something in my travels to tell a story. Yeah.
То есть он любит просто путешествовать, потому что причина, основательная причина, чтобы путешествовать.
So I've been maybe we can lower the lights.
Можно.
I've been traveling for 2 years now.
Сейчас уже 2 года.
And it's divided into two stages. One stage was one.
И его путешествие делится на 2 стадии. Сейчас мы будем говорить про первую стадию.
The first stage was a commission work that a company gave me.
Первая стадия, это когда компания дала ему работу.
I was very lucky to get this assignment because it was about trekking and do a book about trekking in Chile.
Он был очень рад получить такое задание, то есть это было касательно трекинга, я был знаком с трекингом.
So basically, this is very strange, but an oil company paid me to do a book about trekking in the whole country. So I was traveling for almost 5 months.
И получается, компания заплатила ему, чтобы он сделал книгу по трекингу, и теперь он этим занимается 4 года.
Okay. And then, so I went to 20 different national parks in Chile.
И он был во все разных национальных парках в Чили.
And then I was paid. And with that money, I have been traveling for a year and a half now.
И что ему заплатили, и он теперь уже 2,5 путешествует.
So you can imagine the sort of places that I have to sleep. You know, like very, very basic, but I really enjoy, you know, like going to all of these different places. And so on.
Вы можете представить, в каких местах мы приходили спать.
So then I went from Chile, went to Europe, visited some friends there.
И от Чили полетел, получается, в Европу и встретил там своих друзей.
And in December last year,
В прошлом году в декабре,
more or exactly this time last year, I flew from Germany to Cambodia, and from
полетел из Германии в Камбоджу.
and the night before I flew to Cambodia,
И за ночь до этого я полетел в Камбоджу.
I decided that I would go from Cambodia by land back to Germany.
И я решил пойти снова вернуться в Германию из Камбоджи, пешком.
And I thought I would take maybe 7 months to do the whole trip.
И он рассчитал, примерно 7 месяцев на все путешествие.
But because I like to stay in the places and, you know, like tell stories and things like that,
Так как ему нравится оставаться в местах и получать информацию и рассказывать истории,
I am here after 1 year.
я оказался здесь спустя год. Имеется в виду Новосибирск.
So basically the traveling went from Cambodia to Thailand, Thailand to Myanmar, Myanmar to across to India, and this is where here in India, in Nagaland, that's where I did my first story that I stopped for some time there.
И первая его история началась именно в Индии, там, где он показал вам
Nagaland. And from Nagaland, I kept on traveling India. I thought I would do India in 3 months. I stayed 6 months in
Я
India.
думал, что останусь в Индии на 3 месяца, но остался на 6.
Then I kept on going. I did, and I noticed that I only went to the northern part of India. I didn't go to the south.
Я понял, что я прошел только по северной части Индии и не спускаясь никуда на север.
I mean, India is not as big as Russia, but it's quite big as well. So, and then I went up north to Ladakh, where I did my second story.
И он ушел дальше на север, в Ладак.
Ladakh. And from Ladakh went to Nepal, and from Nepal I took my first flight to Mongolia. I didn't want to fly, but I was trapped.
И оттуда он совершил свой первый полет в Монголию, где он застрял.
Because China not very friendly. And I couldn't go to Pakistan because India and Pakistan were very, very tense situation at that moment, so it was difficult.
Пакистан, потому что там были сложности в отношениях между Пакистаном и Индией.
So then I decided I had to fly to Mongolia.
И поэтому решил полететь в Монголию.
And from Mongolia I did another story here.
И от Монголии у него началась другая история там, где показывал.
And then my visa to keep on going through China and this way, this was my intention, was denied by China because of G20.
Но его намерение путешествовать в Монголии, там, где вот вы видели, до Германии, была отменена, потому что его визу отменили.
And then Russia opened its arms, you know, and give me a big hug. So that kind of thing. So okay, so that is so far where I have come. I was supposed to go down here, and this way Iran, Turkey, and then get to. I traveled really with no plans. And last week they told me I was invited to go back to Cambodia to a photo festival there, so I'm going back there, and then I don't know where I'm going. So I traveled with no plans, and in the end, no plans is good plans, I think. Okay, so I would like to. So this is my plan, no plan. And I want to show you a few stories that I've done on the way. I have 3 stories to show you. If we have time, I can show you another one.
У него есть 3 истории, которые он хотел бы рассказать.
So it'll be a little bit chronologic how I've done the stories. So the first story is about the people in Nagaland.
Первая история о людях, которые живут на Голландии.
I will tell you a little bit what it's about. It's about people who 30 years ago used to be headhunters.
Это история людей, которые 30 лет назад были охотниками за головами.
And where is it? Cognac. So you better idea.
Постарается больше описать картину, что есть на картине.
So these guys, when they went to war and headhunted,
Они поют и отрезают голову.
they would get a tattoo either in their face or in their body.
Они получают тату либо на всем теле, либо на лице.
And nowadays that is not happening. So these are the last people with tattoos.
Осталось очень мало людей с настоящим тату.
They have a very big culture on it.
У них очень заострено внимание культурное.
Because when you say migration now, the first thing that I'm sure comes to your head is people escaping from Syria to Europe, from Afghanistan, from Africa, escaping very violent situations.
И когда сейчас человек слышит слово миграция, то снова представляет это в негативном свете, когда люди уезжают из других стран, из Афганистана, Европы и так далее.
But as human beings, we have been migrating all of our life, of course.
Но мы же люди, мы мигрируем всю свою жизнь.
And we do it with our animals.
И это мы делаем с нашими животными.
So this is called transhumans. Transhumanism. Migration with animals. Transhumanism. Yeah. And this is happening everywhere in the world with different culture, different animals, different people.
И это происходит во всем мире с разными людьми и животными.
But because of many reasons, it's disappearing in the world. For political reasons, for wars, for climate change.
Но по многим причинам это происходит, уменьшается количество миграции из-за политических, из-за экономических.
So the project goes about photographing different cultures and all these people before they vanish.
Да, это проект именно о том, что он фотографирует перед тем, как вся эта миграция вообще исчезнет в мире.
Because also we have a lot, I think, we have a lot to learn about these people.
Мне кажется, мы очень можем выучить, научить.
About their way of life, sustainable.
Чтобы, конечно, что это все восстановлено.
In a you know, very close contact with nature.
С очень близким контактом с природой.
So there's a lot we can learn from them. That's okay. This was kind of a candid moment, but she's not crying. She was just, doing like that. She wasn't crying. So don't worry. Very religious people. Buddhist. Buddhist as you can get, or as Tibetan as you can get on earth, I think, because this is more Tibetan than Tibet.
Более близки к Тибету, чем сами люди, может, в Тибете, и также очень близки к буддизму.
Yeah, like when you spend time with people, you get to do like things like this when they don't care that you are there or not. You're like it's okay, and they forget that you are there. So it's very important that you spend time with people, so they relax, Otherwise they would be looking at the camera and smiling. I hate smiles in the camera. Except when it's natural, like here. I just forgot about the second name, but it's fine. Danka and Tsara, Tsatan.
И по-другому либо Цатан, либо Дака, люди, что там Монголии.
Those are the remaining 30. There's 34 families remaining of that culture, and then it's over. 34 families, and that's it.
34 семей и 3
And they herd reindeer. Which I'm sure you're very familiar with the reindeers and stuff, so I don't show that. Huh? Yeah, and then I moved to another tribe close to Ulki in Mongolia, and those people they graze yak, sheep, goats, and camels. So basically, what I find interesting is that there's so many different animals. When you're shooting with this stuff, you have 12 pictures. You can only take 12, and one roll is 10 euro. So you look and you look and you look again, you know, and then you go like, nah, you know, and then you look again, and then you find it, and then you shoot. And yeah, you understand? So that's how I speak to the nomads also, like. So when you're shooting with different equipment like this, you get in another mood, you get in another state, kind of. That happens to me, you know. Because digital photography is very, I mean, for me, I think it makes it easier. You just go click, 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 click. It doesn't matter.
Like this kind of people who like Instagram and take 100 pictures for a few seconds.
Exactly. It's infinite. You know, like it doesn't matter. You know, but here it matters. So then you have to think about what you want to shoot, and when you see it and you shoot it, and you have to wait for 1 year.
So you're like a hunter that
kind of
waits for a good.
Exactly. Or look for it. You know, you look and look and look. And then you have to wait, you know, like to develop, you know, like I just developed my stuff here in Novosibirsk in a really nice place. It's called Lighthouse Lab. I wait 1 year for some pictures to see them, and then I see them and I go like, I cried. So, okay, so it's very difficult to get a story like this. I mean, to get access. But one day I was sitting in the park, in the town, and I had long hair like now. I usually have short hair, but I had long hair like now, and a big beard, and you know, I was like sitting there, and I looked like a drug person, right? So this guy, like a Colombian guy, he came to offer me cocaine or whatever I wanted. And then very honestly, I told him that I wanted to do a story on them, not the drugs. And so that's how I met these two Colombian narco traffickers in Bolivia. And this person, he was found, the narco trafficker was found with 20 kilo. Two weeks before. So he was broke, and he was very angry, and he wanted to tell his story. So I was very lucky to find them, you know, and he went like, yeah, let's tell this story, and you can come along. The only thing I had to do was to buy him beers, because he was alcoholic. And I also had to drink with him, you know, like because otherwise he feel offended. So I was with these two narco-traffickers drunk for like almost 3 weeks. And this first part of the pictures, it's about the production, and then it gets into the story with this guy. With whom I ended up, you know, like living with him. Because they gave me access. So.
Набираешься опыта во всем этом. И дальше задаешь себе вопрос, а делать ли мне это, или уже можно подойти, как с ним общаться, вот найти язык, и далее оценивать опасности. То есть он упоминал про то, что вот фотографии, где два наркодилера, и это немножко меняет именно мышление, то, как ты смотришь на мир. Да, на этом все.
But and also very important is that like for my process is that I take time and do what is important for me and not to do what other people want to see, you know. Of course, if I get an assignment, you know, like they tell me, hey, you have to go and shoot this shoot and we pay you this money, yeah man, of course, welcome, you know, like chin chin, and then I can go and do the work that I really love to do. And that's what I was telling her, that you have to follow your heart, you know, like and photograph or paint or draw, or if you work as a lawyer, do it with passion, you know, like because otherwise it's a waste of time. You cannot waste your life in doing things that you don't like. That is what I learned here with photography. That is the most important lesson, I think. If you can, you have to do it.
Why no pictures from Chile?
I can show you. I have tons. I have many. But this now is what I will go back to Chile at some point, sure. But I had the urge to I had the feeling to go out and see a little bit of the world. Why not? I didn't. A big piece.
Получается, самый важный урок – это то, что это важно для меня, и что на что тратить свое время. И есть моменты, когда другие люди советуют, то есть ты должен сделать фотографию того или другого, но, конечно, для заработка, чтобы подработать, конечно, советую.
Photography? Yeah. I started when I was maybe 16. My father gave me a camera.
Мне было 16, отец подарил мне камеру.
Old reflex.
Starry
reflex.
Yeah, old reflex. And I took pictures like that. And then it's a funny story. I was working in San Francisco as a manager for a company, logistics company.
Я работал менеджером логистической компании в Сан-Франциско.
And I went to Chile on holidays.
И я уехал в Чили на выходные.
This was when I was 27.
Тогда мне было 27.
And I went to Chile. I took pictures of glaciers. I love trekking. I love to go trekking. I love this story. It's a good story.
Glaciers?
Glaciers. Glacier. Yeah, ice.
With ice, yeah.
So I took some pictures there. I went back to the States. I showed my pictures to my friends, and my friends were all artists there for some reason, I don't know. And they tell me, hey, your pictures are really nice, why don't we do like a show? And we're going to do a show, we invite you to put your pictures. And I said, okay. So we printed them big, like this, and it was 9 artists plus me, and I was the only one selling in that thing the night of the opening. I sold 2 out of 3 pictures, and that was the most beautiful day in my life, you know. And I said, like, okay, like it was an exhibition, like a small exhibition, And I said, if it's that easy, you know, like I sell my pictures here, I get a lot of money, let's do it, you know. And then I quit my job and started professionally.
Я очень люблю трекинг, и получается, в Боливии я сделала фотографии, Чили, получается, ледников очень красивых. И у меня было много друзей художников, ну, связанных со сферой искусства, и они увидели фотографии и сказали, очень классные фотографии, почему бы тебе их не выставить. И вот, получается, показал размер распечатанных фотографий. И, получается, было представлено 9 артистов, художников, и он. Получается, день открытия, день выставки, и, получается, только его картину купили, как ни странно.
Это был знак, да? Знак.
It was a sign.
Absolutely, and you have to follow the sign.
Ты должен сделать знак.
Yeah, and yeah, then I quit my job and went to study. I studied photography in Spain.
Я работал и начал учиться.
In Spain?
There was a circus?
No, it was like a circus.
It was
like a circus because, you know, like
metaphor.
Like a metaphor. Everybody, like, you throw a stone and everybody, what happened? What happened? You know, it was a circus. So I took pictures of that, and then some publications were interested in that work, and all the media editors and everything were, you know, like looking for stories, you know, like and something different. So most of the work that I published there was of that thing, you know, like there's a picture that was published on Time magazine, and it was, you know, like this boy with a flag, and like you are photographers, and all of them are taking the same picture of the boy holding the flag, and I was behind the boy taking picture of all of you, like that, and everybody, all of you were really angry because I was in the picture, you know, like go away, you fucker, whatever, you know? So I took the picture and I left, you know, and then I published that picture, and then I worked for a very, very small, I thought it was small agency, but it was huge agency and I didn't know. And they sold my pictures very cheap, but to very good publications. So my work was in Time, in Stern, Newsweek, like many places. And that was good publication.